How many of you have heard of GDS Factory before? Just raise your hand. OK, nice. Perfect. Yeah. OK, so I'm Joaquin. I'm one of the creators of GDS Factory. And today I'm going to be showing you like the capabilities of the software and how it has evolved over the last 6 years. So we are basically a team of industry veterans, and we've been in many different companies where we have helped the companies adopt GDS Factory. But in the process of adopting GDS Factory, we also realized there were many needs that were not covered by this open source software. So for those who don't know, like GDS Factory is an open source library that makes chip design easy to use and very fast. If you don't know about the software, it's been downloaded over 2 million times, and it has over like 79 developers worldwide. And just to give you an idea of how many downloads we're getting, it's like in the order of 500K in the last 5 months. How does it compare with other software? Like I'm a chip designer, and I've been making chips for 15 years. I actually have tried every single tool before we decided to make GDS Factory. Like to give you an idea, I was in a company building like very complex like quantum circuits. It was taking us 2 hours to make a chip, just to render the GDS. We switched to GDS Factory, and we cut that to seconds. How is that possible? It's because we use a very powerful library called KLayout. It's based on C++. So it's like going from pure Python implementation or other languages into like C++, even though we have a Python library to control it. Another thing we also notice is that a lot of people are not doing schematic capture. Like when you're doing circuits in electronics, you usually start with schematics. Schematics is the map of what you're going to build. In photonics, a lot of people just do layout. The problem if you only do layout is that you don't have anything to compare your reference design with the implementation. So the layout will be the implementations. The layout will, the schematic will be the map. So you have to make sure you build what actually you intended to build. And this is very important when you do like very complex circuits. Another thing which was very hard to do is like device level simulation, circuit level simulation. So we basically built that into GDS Factory Plus. It's shown here on the right. So if another thing we have to do as an open source project, it was very hard to maintain Foundry PDKs, especially because all these Foundry PDKs are, 6 of them are open access, so you can download them for free. But the other 19 are basically you need to sign an NDA with the Foundry in order for you to access these PDKs. So for those who are not familiar with chip design, the PDK is like the Lego blocks, like Katya was showing. So they're basically building blocks, like templates that the Foundry has already verified that they work, and then you can use them in your circuits. What does GDS Factory Plus offer you? So it will offer you design capabilities, like such as the one shown here. This is a circuit level simulation, as well as verification to make sure your chip is correct. Like, how do you know if your chip is correct? You have to do DRC, which is to make sure it's manufacturable, and LVS, to make sure that your design intent matches your layout. What do we do with GDS Factory Plus as a project? So we basically do things. We provide you with software tools, or we can also help you migrate from other tools into GDS Factory, or leverage some of the tools we've developed over the years to help you do your work. So as a summary of the tool, it's basically 200 times faster than most of the other tools. It has over almost 250 components readily available for you. It has a lot of PDKs available. And we also integrate with a lot of different tools. I think we are the only tool who integrates with everyone else. Another problem we found is like, where do you store your data? It's also because we've been in many companies where we had the same problem. Like we were like this engineer. Like I've been into a lot of companies where I don't know where the data is because there's already a lot of people working on the chips. Because when you make chips, you have different kinds of data. Like it goes from schematics, simulations, layouts, DRC results, yield data, measurements. All that data, it can be either properly stored in a place that everyone can access, or it basically gets lost. Or if you put it in a Google Drive, you still don't have the relationship between the data. Like, is this GDS? Does it have a measurement? Does it have a simulation? What is the data? So we made this platform called DoData that allows you to integrate all the chip design data into one single place. So it provides you with a database as well as a UI, like a visualization. So you can go all the way from design, layout, verification, fabrication data, validation from the testing, as well as qualification as you go through the product life cycle. It looks kind of like this. You have a dashboard where you can visualize the data. And we have two views. We have the dashboard view, where you can do everything through the web, like it is all web-based. Or you can also do everything through a Python library that you can control from your computer. So you can pip install it, and you can start triggering analysis, storing the analysis, do analysis, aggregated analysis to do like device, die, wafer, or lot. So you can do any kind of device level analysis or any kind of aggregated analysis. So this is kind of like the summary slide. I wanted to do a demo so that we have some time. So basically, there's two things. So there's the GDS Factory, which focuses on design and verification of the circuits. And then we have the do data, which makes sure that you can capture all the data that you accumulate from the design to the verification, as well as the validation and testing and qualification of your products. If you have any questions, you can contact us, or you can also go to gdsfactory.com, and then you can see some of the videos of the tools that we made. Any questions before the demo, or we can also do questions after the demo? Demo? OK. OK, so I'm going to demo the GDS Factory Plus first. So I have it here open. This is just a lattice filter. So it's a two-stage filter where I have two Mach senders connected with each other. One of the things it allows you to do is like I can do actually simulations directly from here. So you can see it's very fast. I just click simulate, and I have the simulation ready. Just to make sure like I'm not just doing anything weird, I'm going to zoom here on this MZI, and I'm going to double the length. So here I'm going to make from 10 to 20. I save. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the length double, the delta length. And I'm going to run simulation again, and I simulate it, and boom, the FSR is different. So just to give an idea of the capabilities of the tool. Another thing it will allow you to do is you can also do automatic routing. So for example, a lot of the time you're connecting different chiplets with each other. So you want to be able to move instances. Like for example, I'm moving this instance, and the route will automatically adapt. So this you can do it as many times as needed. So you have a schematic where you can define your circuit, run simulations, and then you have also automatic routing capabilities for very complex circuits. So yeah, and here you have your project components on the left. On the bottom, you have also your Foundry components. So this is with the Cornerstone Foundry that's open access. That way we can show all these demos without checking people's NDA. So yeah, and you can see also the Foundry PDK elements. Like for example, a die or anything. And this is all interactive, and you can click with it. And the other thing I wanted to show you is the do data live. So we have here a few projects. So you can see if you have wafers, you can see the wafers. You can see the cells. You can visualize the layout. Like a lot of times, you don't even, if you work in a team, like what was the layout that we sent? Or especially if you did it like 6 months ago, what was the layout? You can also see the individual cells, so you can see things like attributes of the cell. You can actually see the GDS of the cell. This is very important because a lot of times the people doing testing are not the same ones doing the design. So it helps you like connect things together. So I can see all the raw measurements as well. Like here, you can click on it and response. You can trigger an analysis on the data and like any analysis that you want. Here I'm going to do IV. You can upload your own analysis. Oh, this one may have a problem. Sorry, yeah, live demos are always. Yeah, you can upload your code, and it will automatically run an analysis for you, and then you can see the results there. So this is the device level, but a lot of times what you care about is like the die or wafer or lot. So let me go back to home. I'm going to click here on the wafers, and I can see all the individual dies, and I can see the wafer. So this is the wafer yield. So if you use like equipment manufacturing, you are going to need to step over all these reticles in the wafer and measure them individually to know which ones you need to package. In this case, we have 2 bad dies, and then you can always click on them and see what happened. Or you can also click on one of the good ones and see that all the fits were correctly done. So these are all analysis that as you were uploading the measurement, they were being fitted. And then the other thing you can also do, you can do all the way to a lot. So compare like sheet resistance, for example. I'm going to remove the outliers. And here I have like 20% variability of 3 wafers. And you can click on them and see particular wafer, what's their sheet resistance spread. So yeah, I show you the tools live. So in summary, we have shown like chip design software for like making chip design accessible to everyone, very easy to use, very fast. And then we show you another piece of software that will help you manage and organize your data so you can actually make better chips and hopefully come here and present them sometime. And thank you very much. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joaquin. Very dynamic presentation. So as you. So, any questions from the audience? Do you want to see any other example, or from the dynamic part? So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joaquin, for this great presentation. I think this do data seems like a super tool to have. I was wondering, are the data stored in the cloud, or do you have solutions where you can keep your own data? Or
yeah, that's a very good question. I actually have a slide to show it. Basically, so we provide you the software, and you are responsible for installing it wherever you want. So you can install it on your local computer, but then it defeats a bit of the purpose of the tool, because you want to put it in a shared server. So most of our customers, they put it on their own cloud. So, or you can even put it in a local server. The problem with a local server is that no matter how big your local server is, you will fill up the space. So you probably need to buy like a NAS or something where you can increase the hard drive space. But most of our customers, we recommend installing in the cloud, like Google, AWS, or we also have other clouds that we work with. That way you get unlimited space in the cloud. But yeah, there's like 4 parts. So there's the database that basically stores the relationships. There's the file storage where you store the measurement, simulation, analysis. And then you have the compute. So to run this analysis, you need some compute to trigger. Once you trigger the analysis, you need to look at the data and then process it and create new data. And all this, we have an installer that will basically install it for you.
That's great. I think coming from where I'm coming from, we would want to have as much of our own measurement data and stuff stored locally, right? Yeah. And not out of concern for confidentiality also for our clients and these things. But
yeah,
sounds like it's possible to do it.
Yeah, most foundry, we can even do like air gap server. So we have the software in a way that it doesn't need to even have the internet. So we work with from small companies to big fabs. So yeah, we're happy to provide you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are no more questions, we can thank